General Langley, I see that you are making waves on these social media streets, okay? Burkinabe people have sent me to give you a message. They said they are very, very happy with Captain Ibrahim Traore. They are very happy with him. They don't have a problem with him. They understand what you are trying to do, but they are very, very happy with Captain Ibrahim Traore and what he's doing for them. So I thought that I would send you this message in case there was some misunderstanding. Captain Ibrahim Traore also kind of understands why you threw him under the bus and it was you. Because when he took this mission to free his people, he knew that based on history and based on what the West have done to their leaders, including Thomas Sankara, he knew that they were going to send you. So we were aware that you were coming. I just want to give you a little tip and a little side note. It's not only Burkinabe people that are happy for him. In fact, the whole of Africa have sent me. Yes, this is a very risky thing you are doing. Look, Africans are very, very happy with Ibrahim Traore. To them, he's a hope of Africa. So I just thought that I would whisper this in your ear. That next time you go in front of your masters, I have a list of people that Africans have sent me to let you know that you can go after those people. But my brother, you know that in America, we are second-class citizens. Why you for do that? And Captain Ibrahim Traore, you know, the system that makes us three-quarters of a human being. Say, you know what I'm talking about. The system that makes us three-quarters of a human being, the only way we'll get out of it is if Africa unites. Okay? Right now, the Sahel people have united. And as Africans in America, African Americans, Black Americans, our respect is tied to the freedom of Africa. So, my brother, make you not do that. Next time, please call Dr. Umar, Dr. Umar Johnson, before you take this mission.
These two men want to take Ibrahim Traore out. These are not my words. Ibrahim Traore himself has publicly accused the president of Cote d'Ivoire, Al-Hassan Dramani Ouattara, of being behind all the attempted coups on his life. And we all saw the video of General Michael Langley, the head of AFRICOM, reporting Ibrahim Traore to his American counterparts, where he accused Traore of using his country's gold to protect his military rule. We all know the truth, right? So, don't be fooled. The photo wasn't taken in 2025. It was actually taken way back in 2024, around the period when Niger drove the American troops out of the country. Remember? For those who don't remember, please refer to my videos. But for my followers, you know I brought the news to you as usual. So this plotting didn't start today. My fear is now that General Michael Langley has officially reported Ibrahim Traore to his American counterparts, I believe they are planning to take him out. History should not repeat itself. Back in the day, we saw what happened to Gaddafi of Libya. The story was that he was a dictator. He didn't take care of his people. He was using the country's resources to protect himself and to, we heard a lot of horrible stories about Gaddafi. Many people believed it. Sadly, he was killed in a very sad manner. And today, look at Libya. This terrorism in the Sahel region is as a result of what happened in Libya. When Gaddafi was there, we didn't hear terrorism in the Sahel. Today, terrorism in the Sahel is a big deal. And people are always talking about terrorism in Africa. This is not us. It wasn't part of us. But the ripple effect of what happened to Gaddafi is what we are experiencing today. They want to do the same thing to Ibrahim Traore. But thank God that Africans across the world are now discerning. So there is huge support for Ibrahim Traore from the United States of America to Asia to wherever, all over the world. People are solidly behind Ibrahim Traore. I mean, in Africa, he is our president, right? He's the president of Africa, so we support him. But other people from different parts of the world are all adding their voices to the story. They don't want history to repeat itself. And I can tell you that Ibrahim Traore himself has come out to tell his enemies, he has told them that he is ready to fight. He is ready to sacrifice his life for his people and for his country. This is what we call patriotism. So let's see what happens next, right?
All right, tribe. Now, let us talk. Yes, let us talk. In case you're bumping across this particular channel, I go by Sherlock. If it is your first time, that is. Now, the African president, Ibrahim Traore, Captain Ibrahim Traore, has sparked a wide rage globally as part of the latest developments. We've got Sergeant Captain Langley, claiming to arrest the one and the only African president who has stood aside from the rest of the presidents that he's not going to buy into the Western mediocrity. Yes. That, let's talk about this one, guys. Look, the moment that amongst the sheep there seems to have an elite or an individual trying to rise up or maybe to raise the standards, there's going to be some scandals which are going to be following. Like we've had several attempts, coups after, targeting Ibrahim Traore in this particular, from the latest developments that is. And it's not coming in accidentally. This is not just coincidentally, but this is an orchestrated move to see that Ibrahim Traore is shaken so that maybe to be overthrown, and this is could be perpetuated by the sycophants of the Western or of America in this particular context, shall I say. Now, this is one thing that I have to say. The unity of Africans is wanting. Yes. That unity is wanting all the way from Africa, the motherland, to the diasporians. Now, it's high time that, we come together and try to manage whatever that we have and whatever that is left after it has been, several years of unscrupulous embezzlement and, thievery that has been happening. And that is to say that, we are the custodians of whatever that is entitled to the Africans, and Africans and only Africans should have a say of what needs to happen to their own resources. Yes, to be more precise. And nobody should come with an otherwise or an second option or an opinion that, what, you guys, you do not have ways and the tech skills to extract or to mine certain kind of things, and therefore we are coming in and these are our terms. And that is something that is really eating up the so-called the West and the white people. And now Langley is used here. I will say that this is not really good, trying to use the fellow black, to step on a fellow black's neck, rather, in this context is that's analogy that really I've just used here, but I also do stand corrected. Let me know that on the comment section. But guys, everything that I've just said here has always been my opinion. I also do stand corrected, but above all, the unity of the Africans is very wanting. Now, we're going to watch, of course, from different sentiments, different quarters, and as usual, at the end of this particular show, I'll show up with my own deep, insightful analysis over the same. Let's keep on watching.
The other two competitors are just trying to replicate what we do best.
I can imagine a situation, though, in which the ruling elite of a country is receiving gratuities on the side that inure to the benefit of the strongman leader and not to the populace of the country. Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Traore and Burkina Faso, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime. There's a number of examples across. Even in Sudan, what's going on with the rapid support forces and Burhan of the Sudan forces, when you get down to it, is all about the revenue that can be drawn out of that. And there are nefarious actors in the CCP or in sometimes Russia are complicit in those activities.
General Michael Langley of the United States Army is talking about arresting Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, our very own Captain Ibrahim Traore, aka President of Africa. General Langley is talking about arresting President of Africa. Let me ask you this. Do you think General Langley has any jurisdictional powers to arrest a president of a different country? Do you think he has that power to arrest any president whatsoever in Africa? And let me ask you this also. What do you think would happen, right, if a Nigerian general, a general in the Nigerian army or South African army just wake up one day and say, you know what, I am going to arrest President Trump of the United States because President Trump is using the country's resources to protect himself and to protect his administration and to protect his own wealthy friends. I am going to arrest him. What do you think would happen if any general anywhere attempts to arrest President of the United States? What do you think would happen? While you're thinking about that, I would like you to watch this video here. Okay? Thank you. I will come back and ask you more questions. Thank you.
Most of you who are young like me, we were born into this system. But that's not what can allow Burkina to thrive. Because in this situation, there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight or we remain slaves forever. I told you once, there are those who are slaves in their minds. They can only serve their master. And those people try every time to manipulate you. You must advise each other. Because every situation can be exploited by these enemies of the nation to try to discourage you, to demotivate you. So, you must advise each other and not pay attention to certain remarks, even on some media. Not everyone is obliged to be patriotic. You are the first patriots. You have decided to defend the homeland. There is nothing better than that. Those who want to support you, let them support you. Those who want to discourage you through writings, you must close your ears and move forward. As for those, we will fight them here. So, we must remember something. Recently, there is a so-called NGO. It's not even an NGO. Because NGO stands for non-governmental organization. They are not non-governmental because they are funded by a federal budget, by a state. This so-called NGO produces reports claiming that the FDS and the VDP commit abuses. It went in here, it came out there. It's to tarnish your morale. It's to scare you, to prevent you from being able to fight. No. Moreover, we are going to file a complaint against this NGO. because people need to understand something. What is happening to us here? It's true that they have manipulated part of our populations in the Sahel here, but they didn't have that kind of weaponry. What brought such significant weaponry into their ranks? It's Libya. Who destroyed Libya? It's this NGO, the same NGO that made false reports and gave them to those who wanted to create a rebellion so that people would intervene and overthrow Gaddafi. And the powder keg ended up being poured into the Sahel. These millions of lives that have been taken in the Sahel, we must file a complaint against this NGO because it is responsible for these false reports it made to support this thesis of attacking Libya. They have no moral lessons to give us.
Indeed, Captain, they have absolutely no moral lessons to teach us. Captain Ibrahim Traore is passionate, he is knowledgeable, he is fit, and he's exactly the African leader we have been praying for all these years. Please, African leaders, please support him, protect him. Please follow his footsteps. Please speak with one voice. Come together and speak with one voice against Westerners who are trying to colonize us again, who are trying to go into Africa and steal our resources, who are trying to divide us, who are trying to push us backwards. Please, 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 please. And to my fellow Africans, if we've not been paying attention, this is the time for us to pay attention and get involved. And also, if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you have answers to the questions that I asked previously, also drop them in the comment section. Thank you once again. Take care.
All right, Tribe. I told you that I'll circle back at the end of this particular show with my, the comments over the same. And here we go. I want to reiterate one of the, of course, iconic figures that is none other than Dr. Chiombori Kwao Arikana, the former U.S. ambassador from Africa, that is. And forefront, if you've listened to her, you realize that her message echoes African unity, and that we do not have to, that is the Africans, they do not have to be looked down upon, and everything else needs, if Africa needs to take a step, that they have to ask for a dire permission, like that, like we have to ask the West, not only to ask the West, that they do not have the audacity, the Africans themselves, the African leaders, purportedly the ones who are in power, that for them to make some bold steps about what's best for their countries in this context. They cannot come up with their own. Their ideologies are usually centered and anchored on some policies attached to the West, and that if they do not align with so and so, then that particular, let's say, idea or maybe a plan or kind of like a project would not really move on. And this tells us that Africans have really played along the European nations or the Western, that they cannot come up with something of their own. And given the fact that Africa is endowed with those particular minerals that find themselves in different gauges, that their sources are, or their manufacturing industries are abroad, and the resources are just right here, then it is high time that Africans really need to come back to the table and think of themselves strongly. Strong-minded people like Ibrahim Traore in this particular context. And that's why maybe, possibly, he's getting all these particular oppositions from the affected party here. And the affected party will not see that their own agendas here in Africa are being, uprooted by an individual who is, in this particular context, enlightened. I'm meant to understand that Ibrahim Traore really did the last parchment of the last debt that that Burkina Faso owes, the IMF or the lenders. And you see, once you are free of your lender, you're free, in fact. But if you still keep on, or if you still owe your lender, you're still a slave. So any actions, any policies, any agendas that you want maybe to initiate, they will be in line with your lender. And now, Ibrahim, that's not the case in this particular context. The Burkinabes are, they are free to trade with whomever they feel right, and irrespective of where you don't, that's my enemy, and you shouldn't do business or trade with my enemy, irrespective of that one. And that is the kind of leadership that the African countries of the African continent really needs. Guys, but as usual, that has been my opinion. I also do stand corrected. Let me know what you think on the comment section. Let this particular conversation continue. See you in the next one.